Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about hyperpigmentation. Basically almost everything about hyperpigmentation. We're gonna deep dive into a bit of anatomy, types of hyperpigmentation, the causes and the treatments. If you're new here, do not forget to like, share and subscribe and press the bell icon for engagement. Let's get into the video. So first things first, what is a hyperpigmentation? So it is basically when your skin is darker in certain parts than the other parts. It is because that part of your skin produces more melanin, and it could be in response to, let's say, inflammation, trauma, or just your skin type in general. So types of hyperpigmentation, I bet you guys have already heard of this, but if you haven't, stay tuned. So the first one is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, mainly seen in people of color. It's when you get a pimple, and then once the pimple dries, it becomes darker in shade. And then we have post-inflammatory erythema. These are usually seen in people with lighter skin tone. Again, any trauma or inflammation to the skin, once it heals, it actually becomes red instead of the darker ones seen in people of color. Third is suntan. Yes, the darker skin you get once you're exposed to the sun. Fourth is melasma, also known as the mask of pregnancy, usually seen during pregnancy due to hormonal shift. It is mainly seen in women of Asian descent, but can happen to anyone. Last one is due to some sort of deficiencies. For example, vitamin B12, vitamin D, and iron deficiency can actually give you dark circles, and also perioral hyperpigmentation, which women see a lot. And most often than not, women think that this kind of hyperpigmentation can be fixed with skincare alone, but that is not the case. Let's get into a bit of skin anatomy before we get into the treatment and all that. So skin has 3 layers: epidermis, the top layer; dermis, the middle layer; and the hypodermis. Well, there's more, but you just need to know 3 for the video. The important layer here is the epidermis, especially the basal cell layer, that is the bottom layer of the epidermis. This is where our skin produces new cells and specialized cells, aka melanocytes. And these melanocytes, they produce melanin with the help of an enzyme called tyrosinase. So how do we treat hyperpigmentation? We're going to use a 3-step approach. The first one is using tyrosinase inhibitors. If you paid attention to the lesson previously, we talked about the enzyme tyrosinase. Melanocytes produce melanin in the presence and with the help of tyrosinase. And we need to inhibit tyrosinase. And which products are we going to use? My 5 best tyrosinase inhibiting products are retinol, vitamin C, azelaic acid, kojic acid, and alpha-arbutin. Now let's say you are like me and the melanin got deposited. Now I need to break down this already deposited melanin from my skin. So what am I gonna use? Retinoids and niacinamides are amazing products to actually remove the melanin that is already in the skin. Now let's say you're not able to inhibit your tyrosinase, your melanin is already there, and your skin has darkened, etc., and you're like, oh my god, I don't know what to do anymore. You're gonna use products that are gonna increase skin cell turnover, aka increase the rate at which your skin renews. And these products are alpha hydroxy acids like lactic acid, beta hydroxy acids like salicylic acids, or retinoids. You see how retinoids are always there in all the 3 situations, so might as well start using retinoids. I'm going to link a video below in the description about retinoids, so in case you want to look into it, have a look into it. So a little tip about alpha and beta hydroxy acids that nobody wants you to know, but I want you to know because I want you to have a good skin. If you don't want to have good skin, well, you can skip it, but yeah. If you have sensitive skin, go ahead, start with mandelic acid. If you have dry skin, start with lactic acid. If you have oily skin, start with salicylic acid. And you know what? You can actually use salicylic acid in the morning, because salicylic acid is a type of acid that doesn't make your skin sun sensitive, unlike the other ones. If you feel like your skin is strong enough and you can take better, stronger products, go with glycolic acid. If you feel like you don't know where you stand and if you're confused, start with lactic acid, really. Lactic acid. It actually has skin lightening properties and skin brightening properties, so your skin will thank you. The last tip to treat your hyperpigmentation is by going to your doctor. Really, get your blood work done and see what underlying issues you've got going on and treat it accordingly. 2 extra tips: always wear your sunscreen, tinted one preferably. And how do you know it's tinted? Of course, it's got color, but ensure that it's got an ingredient called iron oxide. It's going to block visible lights, which is kind of responsible for hyperpigmentation. But at the end of the day, tinted or not, using your sunscreen is the best deal here. Second tip is to treat your underlying cause. As I said, go to your doctor, see what's going on with your hormones and deficiencies, etc., and treat it accordingly. And the third one is to use your actives responsibly. Yes, I did talk about using retinoids, azelaic acid, etc., but use them responsibly, because at the end of the day, having a very healthy skin barrier is step one to having an amazing skin. So now talking about in-clinic treatments, you can go for chemical peels or lasers, but ideally, if you're somebody who's just starting out, skincare is the best bet. You could be doing so much in clinic, but if your skincare is shitty, nothing's gonna work. But if your skincare is A1 and you want to get into some sort of in-clinic treatment, then I would suggest getting a lactic acid peel for, like, let's say 6 to 8 sessions, and it will actually give you really amazing results. Lactic acid and glycolic acids are actually known as lunchtime peel. Basically, there's no downtime whatsoever. You could go during your lunchtime, get it done, and you can go on about your day. If you feel like, you've already done chemical peel and all that, then lasers is something that you might want to look into. So with that being said, these two in-clinic treatments are one of the best in-clinic treatments. But again, at the end of the day, you will go to your clinic, your dermatologist will tell you something, your esthetician will tell you something. So it completely depends on them and what your skin needs. But do your own research, and always remember that your skincare comes first. Shitty skincare, going to clinic, no results. A1 skincare, going to clinic, good results. Just skincare, also good results. Okay, now my final thoughts. Yes, hyperpigmentation can be very frustrating and it will make you lose your mind. But with proper help, skincare and clinic treatments, if any, optional, and with the right amount of guidance and the right guidance, you can actually get rid of it for good. And another thing that you need to remember is that hyperpigmentation is something that gets worse before it gets better. Most of my clients midway through their journey usually come to me and be like, oh, my hyperpigmentation actually got worse after using the products that you suggested. Well, girly pop, that's how it's supposed to be. Hyperpigmentation, when it gets darker, basically means that it's somewhere in the top layer of your skin and it's gonna go out for good. So you need something called patience. So you need patience, that's all. Like, I don't want to rant anymore. I don't want to crash out. And just know that it gets worse before it gets better. Anyway, that was it for my video. I hope you took a few points home. I hope the lesson was good. I hope my teaching was good. I hope you paid attention to the lesson, to my lesson. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, besos.